Good morning, students. In this video, we'll discuss about supply chain management design concept. Let us take one real-time example. Suppose two customers are going to a clothing shop. So definitely, these customers they have their own individual preferences, right? Some people may prefer light colors, some people may prefer dark colors, etc., etc., isn't it? So it is important to understand that no two customers will ever be exactly the same in terms of their service requirements, right? So because they may come under in some groups or they have different opinions. So when we the approach to service segmentation or the customer suggested should follow three-stage process. Identify the key component of customer service as seen by customers themselves. Establish the relative importance of those service components to customers. Identify clusters of customers according to similarity of service preferences. So these 3 points we need to keep in mind before going to the supply chain management design concept. Now we'll see what is supply chain management design concepts. So here, when we talk about this decision phases, we have three decision phases. One is supply chain strategy, or we call it as supply chain design. Another one is supply chain planning, and the third one is supply chain operation or operational value. So we'll see elaborately. Supply chain strategy or design. Decisions about the structure of the supply chain and what processes each stage will perform will fall into this category. So strategic supply chain decision, especially we need to think about locations and capacities of facilities, products to be made or stored at various locations. That's about inventory. Mode of transportation, whether we are preferring railroad or road or via ships or air cargo. So whatever mode of transportation, then how we are handling and managing the information systems. Supply chain design must support strategic objectives. Supply chain design decisions are long-term and expensive to reverse. Must take into account market uncertainty. Just like when we start an organization, we will have mission, right? So the vision statement, once it is established, we should not alter frequently. But to achieve this vision, we will have several vision statements that we can do some little alteration in later stage. Okay. Then supply chain plan. Definition of a set of policies that govern short-term operations that is come under supply chain planning. Fixed by the supply chain configuration from previous phase, starts with the forecast of demand in the coming year. Planning decisions, which markets will be supplied from which locations. Planned buildup of inventories, subcontracting backup locations, inventory policies, timing and size of market promotions. Must consider in planning decision, demand uncertainty, exchange rates, competition over the time horizon. So definitely when we plan, when we are doing the planning about decisions, we need to focus on these individual subcomponents. Supply chain operation. Here the time horizon is either weekly or daily basis. So just like a daily report or weekly report. Decisions regarding individual customer orders. Supply chain configuration is fixed and operating policies are determined. Goals is to implement the operating policies as effectively as possible. It allocates orders to inventory or production, set order due dates, generate pick list at a warehouse, allocate an order to a particular shipment, set delivery schedules, place replenishment orders. Here the uncertainty is very less because it is a very short time duration, right? So within a weekly plan or daily plan, so there is no complications. Process view of a supply chain. So here we have two process views are there. One is the cycle view, another one is push or pull view. In a cycle view, processes in a supply chain are divided into a series of cycles, each performed at the interfaces between two successive supply chain stages. Whereas in push or pull view, processes in a supply chains are divided into two categories depending on whether they are executed in response to a customer order or in anticipation of a customer order. So there is a huge difference between response to a customer order or anticipation of a customer order. That is push. Then this cycle view of supply chain, as we discussed earlier, they are having several subsystems, subcomponents. They are interrelated. So we have customer. He is directly involved with retailer. Retailer is directly connected with distributor. Distributor directly connected with the manufacturer. Manufacturer directly connected with the raw material supply. So we can call these various cycles as procurement cycle, manufacturing cycle, replenishment cycle, customer order cycle. Okay, so from the name itself, we can understand that. So collecting the raw materials from various suppliers during the manufacturing side, that is come under procurement side. So that is what explicitly explained in this slide. Each cycle occur at the interface between two successive stages. Customer order cycle, that is customer retailer relation. Replenishment cycle, retailer distributor relation. Manufacturing cycle, distributor manufacturer relation. Procurement cycle, manufacturer supplier cycle. Cycle view clearly define processes involved and the owners of each process. Specifies the roles and responsibilities of each member and the desired outcome of each process. Push-pull view of supply chains. So procurement, manufacturing and replenishment side, these are all come under push process, whereas customer order cycle come under pull process. Supply chain process with these two categories depending on the timing of their execution related to the customer demand. Because execution is initiated in response to a customer order only, so definitely it is a reactive full operation. Whereas execution is initiated in anticipation of customer order, that is a push operation, that is a speculative. So we will think like during the summer there will be a AC and fan, these kind of will be sold out a lot, right? So the manufacturer may manufacture more such products. Whereas during rainy or winter season, coats, raincoats, umbrellas, they can be sold out a lot. So these kind of speculative, uh, uh, based on the speculation, we are manufacturing. So that is the commander business. Okay. Then, useful in considering strategic decisions relating to supply chain design, more global view of how supply chain processes relate to customer orders. So these are all come under this. That is, we are focusing in terms of push view as well as pull view. Okay, so the relative proportion of push and pull processes can have an impact on supply chain performance. Supply chain macro processes in FM. So here, supply chain processes, we can have it classified into distinct views. That is customer relationship management, that is CRM, internal supply chain management, supplier relationship management. Integration among the above three macro processes is critical for effective and successful supply chain management. So we'll elaborately discuss what is CRM, ISCM and SR. Now, so any supply chain we can take, whether it is Amazon or Toyota car manufacturing, Zara, Gateway, etc., etc., we can take and we can just relate these three points. So here one example, Gateway, it's a direct sales manufacturer. They have multiple production facilities in the US. So what advantage or disadvantage does this strategy offer related to Dell, which has one facility? Because Dell manufacturing plant is in only one location. Whereas in Gateway, they are having the multiple production facilities. So each has their own advantage and disadvantage. Because should a firm with an investment in retail store carry any finished good inventory? Why does Gateway not carry any finished good inventory at its retail stores? What factors did Gateway consider when deciding which plants to close? Is the Dell model of selling directly without any retail store is always less expensive than a supply chain with retail store? These questions we need to think and answer, because depending on the product we can have a direct sales, because Dell, they are manufacturing the high-end laptops, so they can directly they can sell it to the customer. Suppose I am manufacturing a lace pocket, I can handle by myself alone. Means is it possible to expand my business? Not at all possible. So these things, these scenarios, definitely we need to think, and based on that we have to take a wise decision. Similarly, they are talking about 7-Eleven food and manufacturing store. This is one of the famous Japanese store. They are also they are actually food manufacturing and shipment company actually. So this why has 7-Eleven chosen off-site preparation of fresh food? Why does 7-Eleven discourage direct store delivery from vendors? Where are distribution centers located and how many stores does each centers have or serve? How are stores assigned to distribution center? Why does 7-Eleven combine fresh food shipments by temperature? What point of sale data does 7-Eleven gather and what information is made available to store manager? See, all these questions, answers are clubbed together in the overall supply chain management strategy. So when we talk about the supply chain management, effective supply chain management network design, we should always answer about these questions. Similarly, they are taking another products, Toyota car company. So where the plant is located, how marketing happen, whether it is flexibility to have a distribution system, whether flexible investment is possible, how long product design timing happen, all things they need to answer before creating or developing a proper supply chain management strategy. Okay, so as a summary, I can say that we clearly understand what exactly cycle and push or pull view of a supply chain. How can supply chain macro processes be classified? What are the three key supply chain decision phases and what is the significance of each? What is the goal of a supply chain and what is the impact of supply chain decision on the success of the plan? So with this, we'll wind up this topic. Thank you.